Hello. Today we're going to talk about one of the most versatile tools in Qimage, and it's called Flashcard Copy Move. We'll give you a good working knowledge of how to take advantage of all it does, and it's really a wonderful, wonderful feature in Qimage Ultimate. Let me just show you what it looks like because it's the third button up here. Very easy to get to, and there it is. Okay. Now, because I already have a flashcard plugged in, it automatically finds it. Okay, I took some random shots today just to put something on the card, and it shows 21 raw images. Okay, now before we get into this, I'm going to close this and go to the hard part. This is the easy part. We're going to go to the hard part. Okay, hang on. Okay, the hard part, I'm going to go into Explorer. Regular Explorer that everybody has, Explorer. The hard part is, where do you keep your pictures? Now, I personally keep mine in a main folder called Pics. If I open that up, you see all these subfolders from all the different days I went out shooting, okay? That's the way I do it. Not necessarily the only way, the right way, or a good way, but that's the way I got used to. There are other folks who do it by year, so I made up this folder here, 2016 photos, okay? You open that up, and inside are subfolders: New Year's party, Valentine's Day, Christmas, okay? Of course, there's nothing in it. I just made them up for the purpose of demonstration. But that's the way a lot of folks do it. They'll make 2015, 2014, 2016, and all the pictures they take this year will go into this folder and become subfolders of the event. Okay? All right, now let's get back into flashcard copy move, and I'll show you why this is important. Okay? Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to open flashcard copy move again. And here's the important part, and the part that's hardest to understand, but I think after my showing you Windows Explorer, you got a better idea what I'm doing here. So we have the to folder, which is the main folder. In my case, it's Pics. In the example case, it would be 2016, okay? So if I clicked on this and I said browse, okay, I would get into my C drive and I'm looking for that 2016 folder. Here it is right here. Click on that, say OK, and now it's going to go to 2016. Okay, got it? All right, now this is the subfolder. This is the one that Qimage will create. That one stays forever. You don't ever change this until 2017. Okay, that stays. Okay, over here is where you put the event. So I'm going to put in here random shots. Okay, random shots. And now I right click and I say copy this to all the rows, okay, all the rows. So now they all say random shots. That's so I make a folder with the pictures. I make a backup copy, as many as you want, okay? So that's the hard part. The to folder is the hard part. And you have to remember it stays there. It stays there, okay? And you make your folder first in Explorer, and then you find it using this method, and it stays there for a whole year. You never have to fool with this one again. That's the one that depicts the event. Valentine's Day, birthday, July 4th, picnic, barbecue, Labor Day, whatever you've got here, that goes in here, in this part. And Qimage will write a subfolder. Okay, so far? Now, let's go back to this side. The operation, we have copy, okay, or we have move, or develop, or off, okay. Right now, we're just going to deal with copy and move. Off is obvious. Develop is for a different operation. So if I say copy, the pictures that are on the card are going to get copied to the to folder and the subfolder. If I say move, it's going to take them from the card and clean the card. Okay, so whichever one you prefer doing, I like copy. I'll be on the safe side, just in case the lights went out or something like that. Okay, this is type. Okay, photos, videos, or other. Well, I'm dealing with photos, so I leave it on photos. But if you're a video guy, you can make one folder for video, one folder for uh, photos, and one video, and stuff like that. Okay, you're getting the idea of this. Okay, now let's move on and we'll see how this thing is going to work. Okay, and we'll give it a try. Okay, now down the bottom, you just put a check mark in these three places. This will make you an album. This says if you've got JPEGs, we'll handle it. If this is RAW, we'll handle it. Develop to something else we'll get to later. Okay? So we just need these three check marks and hit the go button. That's all you got to do. Okay? And right along the bottom here, it's doing 42 because there's 21 pictures and it's going to put it in two folders, two places. So it says 42, but it isn't going to take that long because the second 21 goes brrr, just like that. Okay, so hang on. Okay, there we go for our second 21. She's going pretty fast now. And we are done. Okay, click, click, we are done. So we say close. Oh, you can look at the timing on it, okay, if you want to. Okay, this took 54 seconds, something like that, and it was almost a gigabyte, 998. So it was pretty fast. Okay, close that. I'm going to close this, and look what happened. It goes automatically to the new folder that we just made. It's C 2016. That's your main folder, photos. Then the subfolder is random shots. Okay, and right now Qimage is building its thumbnails and cache files and stuff like that. So we'll be caught up there in a second. This thing goes pretty fast. And you can see how nice this thing worked. You didn't have to do a thing. It sorted it for you, did everything for you. And we're just waiting for it to finish building its cache file. Okay, it's done building its thumbnails and things like that. But you can see it's ready to roll. Nothing to it over here. Okay, now we'll go back to flashcard copy move. And just for the sake of demonstration, let's assume this is a day later and I've got more random photos. All I really have to do is go in here, okay, and say -2, like that. Okay, then I can say copy it to all the other folders. I can shut this D off because we're just doing demonstrations anyway, right? Okay, so we're just going to copy to one folder, and this time it's going to make random shots too. You never have to touch this one. That's what I'm trying to get across to you, okay? So we hit the go button, and it's done because it was in memory. Okay, but usually it's not that lucky. Let's put it that way. It's going to drive those things and do it again. Okay, let's see what we got now. Okay, hang on. Okay, now if we go in here and have a look, here's our original random shots. Here's our random shots too. Okay, so you see what we did. We could have named it anything we want, but I just wanted to make it easy to find for later. Okay, so far you can see what this is doing, and you can see how easy it is once you get the idea that this is your main folder, these are your subfolders, okay? That's the way it works. Okay, let's move on to the next facet. Okay, phase 2. Phase 2. We'll go into our flashcard copy move, but this time I have taken out or unplugged the compact flashcard. So we no longer have the automatic reading of the card. We have a flashcard copy move looking at the last folder it looked at, source. Okay, so I'm going to click on source, and I'm going to select the folder we made, the 2016 photos. Okay, like that. All right, and I'm going to, I could select one if I want to, like random shots of this, or I can just select the main folder like that. Well, let's take random shots, okay? I'm going to say okay here, and you see random shots is sitting here. But let me show you what I'm doing and why I'm doing this, okay? Hang on. Okay, supposing I took one of these photos here, I'll just make it simple, okay, and I put it into the editor, if I can. Okay, hang on. Okay, just had a little glitch there. I shrunk the flashcard copy move instead of closing it. Anyway, I just want to toss something in here into the editor just to give you a little demonstration here. Let's say, just for the sake of discussion, that we want to add a little contrast to this, just for the heck of it. I'm just doing it because. Okay, I want to make a filter. I want to make an FLT file that goes with this image. Okay, there we go. Got that. And that's good enough. Okay, now I'm going to say done and okay. Okay, now we have a little red file name here indicating there's a filter here. But this filter resides in the C drive, okay? It's not in the backup, which was in the D drive, if you remember. So what we're going to do with this, we want both of those folders to be identical, at least most of the time. So in case we ever lose this, we don't lose all the filters and things we did, right? Well, that's where flashcard copy move comes back into play, okay? Well, here we go. It's a source folder, so we went source, which is what we chose before. Okay, random shots under the main folder of 2015 photos. We have a subfolder, random shots. We say okay. Now we go here to file, and it says update, send source files to a destination. Okay, so we click there, and it automatically went to my D drive because it remembered. Okay, it remembered. Well, okay, now let's find this thing here because I don't have identical drives set up in here yet. Okay, now I scroll around until I find my folder, random shots, okay? So we're going from random shots on the C drive to random shots on the D drive. I say okay. Now it says, you want to do only the new files, new and updated files, or all the files? Well, let's do new and updated. Okay, go, done. Okay, now what did we do? That little red file here, this FLT file, the one I adjusted the contrast, is now in the backup folder also at the same time. So you see how easy that was. Now, let's go back in. I'll show you something even better than that. Okay, I'm going back the source. Okay, I'm going to go to my pictures where I usually keep stuff. Okay, pics, here we go. And you can see there's probably a couple of dozen subfolders under here. I could pick one subfolder or just pics. Okay, now all of these guys are going to get copied over, and everything I did, all the filters and the raw file adjustments and the JPEGs I made, they're all going to get copied from the main drive to the backup drive. I can do them all at once. I don't have to do one at a time. Okay, you got the idea there? All right, you can see how versatile this is and how wonderful it is. If I start this now, it'll take a while because you can see how many images are involved. By the way, if you don't want something copied, you just click it, it makes brackets around it. That won't be copied, okay? Simple as that. Okay, let's move on. Okay, here we go. Now, let's go into the Edit settings, okay? Now, this gets a little strange, but nevertheless, what it's here for is to accommodate your own taste. For example, naming the photos. What we did previously is I left it so that whatever the camera named it, that's exactly the name of the image I got. So it was image 3189, this is 3190, here's 3193 down here where the tree is, and that's the way I left it. But supposing you prefer a different method, okay? So what you do is you click on this thing here, auto rename, okay, like that, and this pops up. Now, these are presets, okay, like that. This is year, month, day, hour, minutes, and seconds. A lot of people do that. They name their photos like that. Or you can add stuff to it because this is telling you all the things you can do. So for example, I can use the old file name or the numeric part of the file name. You know, that would be the 3189 over here, the numeric part of the file name. So I can go ahead and put a dash or an underscore if I want to, like that, and say 7 pound sign, question mark pound sign, like that, okay? And now when I name my pictures, it's going to come out with this kind of a name. Okay, that's what it does. Okay, you want to see it? I can do it for you, but I don't want to waste too much time here, but that's what's going to happen. I'm going to get the year, the month, the day, the hour, the minute, the seconds, and the numeric file name. You can switch it around any way you like. Here's automatic set to. Then you have to look here for the legend to see what all these symbols mean, but it's just different placement, stuff like that, okay? This is the drive letter of the original file, see it here? That little @ sign, stuff like that. All kinds of different things. I don't use it personally, but it's there for anybody to do whatever he or she likes and change your settings just the way you like it, okay? Let's move into here. Again, this is all customizing for yourself. If you shoot RAW and JPEG, then this will automatically put this in a folder called RAW. If you check that, and they'll put the JPEGs developed in a folder called developed, or you can change the name to that. And you can set the quality of the JPEGs. You can set the size of web size copy. If you wanted to automatically make web size copies while it's doing everything else, you can do that. It's so versatile. It will satisfy any whim that it's a marvelous tool to have and a marvelous tool to have a working knowledge of. And to wrap this up, just to prove to you that everything worked right, I'm going into my backup drive, okay, and I'm going to find the random shots folder, if I can. Should be alphabetical, here it is. Okay, and if you recall, we made a filter for this picture here in the C drive folders, and we copied it so that as quick as a bunny, it's now in the backup folder also. So should anything ever happen to the C drive, I've got my pictures with the accoutrements, with the filters, with the JPEGs, with the whatever I did, emails, print the file, whatever I did, I've got copies of it in my backup drive. Well, I hope I shed some light on this mysterious flashcard copy move, but it's a marvelous tool, and I hope you'll take advantage of it, and thank you very much for listening.